Content Catchup.
We're just all getting an Uber from here. And he's like, what about Barks? I'm like, I don't think Barks would want to get an Uber from me.
Yeah, it's not exactly logical, old Strange.
It's not ideal, Strange. I mean, he's thinking about you, though. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
good
I
friend.
appreciate it. It's like 5 minutes from my home, so I'm not going to go into Coburg and shovel back out.
Then come out.
Appreciate it.
Oh, dear. All right. Let's
Did you get
roll.
his wedding invite?
Yes, he did. I gave it to him. I hand-delivered it to him. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Friends, enemies, Michael Barker, welcome to another episode of the Content Catch-Up. Episode 12. 2 weeks in a row, we're back on to this regular programming bullshit. But here we are. Barks, how you going?
Good. Consistency is key in this trade, Jules, but I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Had a few drinks last night and was concerned that I was going to wake up a bit dusty, but got up. Went for a run, and I think that's the key to success. You just got to stop feeling sorry for yourself, get out there and do something. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, I like that. You don't sound too husky or anything, so kudos to you. The run must have paid off. What time was the run? That's pretty early for you, especially.
It was just before this, so I went for a run at like 9:30. Had to go pick up the car, so it was a good excuse to go for a run.
Hey, speaking of runs, have you got my friends and enemies? I got Jules a running magazine subscription for his birthday. Have you received that yet?
We've discussed this at work. I've received one, and for context, I was already subscribed to this magazine, and I'm trying to work out whether it was the last one from that subscription or the new one from Barks before I say thank you for the present.
It's a thought that counts, but I didn't get you something you've already got. Let's make that clear. It's just yours ended, so true. It's continuing on a great present. So thank you, Marks, for that.
It is a good present. I do love my Run as Well magazine. Shout out. Hopefully, maybe they can sponsor us. Maybe we can do a running pod.
That'd be nice. I might not do that. I'll be in the car next to you. All
right. What else, Barks? I hear you've been doing some honeymoon planning.
Yeah, let's talk about our weeks in review. But so top of the table for the honeymoon later this year potentially is Canada, Jules. What do you think of that?
I love that. Why Canada?
Well, it's a bit of a funny one because it's sort of heavily driven by Elise because I've been I've seen America and my NBA games, which essentially is all I've got to tick off from my bucket list. So when we were talking about the honeymoon, I'm like, Elise, honestly, it's up to you, but she wants to go to America. She wants Canada's sort of a random location, and I sort of feel like it's due to her recent interest in NHL. Bit sus about that one, but no, it's my kind of climate. You know, I like the cold weather, so
bit cold.
Yeah, I think a bit cold, and we might do a bit of America as well because Elise wants to see America. So that's the front runner. I want to ask anybody if they've been to Canada, any suggestions, please flick it my way.
You should definitely go to Niagara Falls. That's beautiful over there.
Yes, that was on the list, the short list.
Around that region in Niagara, they've got this like specialty. It's called ice wine. Where they actually make the wine out of frozen grapes, and it makes it really sweet. And it's just in this town called Niagara.
I'm gonna literally add that to our things to do list right now.
Yeah,
ice wine. Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, while I've got it open, so we've got Niagara Falls. I don't know how to pronounce this. Quebec City, which is a French-speaking city, apparently.
Quebec.
Yeah, thank you. Toronto, Vancouver. Lisa begs me because I pronounced this wrong. Montreal, thank you. I don't know how I pronounce it, but I think it's one of the Hornets.
Montreal.
I think it's another Hornets. Churchill, but I don't know if that's realistic. It's the polar bears and ice wine. That's the last one.
Well, how long what's the planned length of this trip?
Oh, good question. Not sure. Maybe 3 weeks ish.
Okay.
Actually, holidaying, so not travel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So that would give you enough time to do a few of those things, but you also don't want to be rushing around and not being able to enjoy.
No, and
I'm guessing. Yeah.
this is the struggle I find with, not that I've done many trips, but when you pack it too heavily, I said to Elise, I'd be happy to choose like 2 locations and just spend like time just chilling there. But I think you want to also make it worthwhile, so it's a bit of a balancing act. But I feel like we've been talking way too much about me for the last 2 episodes. Jules, how's your week been?
Because you've got a lot happening, Michael Barker, in your life. What's been happening this week? Not too much. Oh, so speaking to the lovely Marnie Olsen-Young during the week, and she told me about this interaction that she had with her video producer at work, Jake. So Jake, Marnie was talking about me, and she goes, "Oh, you know, my partner Julian," and Jake turns around and is like, "Julian, like, does he work in sport?" And she's like, "Yeah, he works at Carlton." And he's like, does he have a podcast?"
Oh yeah, Jake.
So regular shout out to Jake on the podcast today.
Love that.
Thanks for being a fan. That's
Any more? Yeah, probably will. Any more? Did he say any words about it?
He said he loves the show. He's a regular listener. Enjoys the content Catchup. So Jake, you're on our next run of stickers whenever we do it. We'll send you one. We should actually get some.
Yeah, we should. So, Jules, that'd be our 3rd listener. That's great. That's really good for season 4.
So, Paddy and Casey, watch out. You've got a 3rd. Actually, we should say 4. I feel like Edwin listens regularly.
Yeah, no, Edwin did. And speaking of Edwin, I just wanted to, before we go into content this week, Jules, your clickbait marketing of our last week's episode got a few people. So we're not actually stopping the podcast, but you scared my mum. And you scared Edwin by that DM that he sent us. I can imagine he might have been in tears behind the keyboard when he sent that to us.
The typing, his next reel will be him crying. That's what it's going to be. But I was worried when you messaged me saying that your mum was upset with me. I thought it was because I had hung so much shit on your brother, Darren, during the show. No, I thought she was like bullied.
He actually hasn't mentioned that, so I'm not sure he's listened to it. But no, it was because she quickly messaged me just saying, "Michael, just saw your post on Instagram. Are you stopping the podcast?" Sad emoji. So yeah, it wasn't about Darren.
I love that your parents listen to the show. It's so nice. It's so wholesome. What's that?
Fanatic. They're fanatics. But Duncan and Miriam, maybe we should record like a little bit that we can show them, like a bit of a teaser purely for your parents.
You'd also like this. Sorry, we'll get onto the content after this one, but my auntie messaged me throughout the week, and it was, I think she saw that video I put up of where I was asking whether you were actually working at the Open or not, or whether you were just like fucking getting drinks. And she's like, "What are you, an influencer now?" I'm like, "No, I've got a podcast." And she's like, "What?"
I'm surprised she could hear you in that Instagram reel. That deserves an egg.
Yeah, it was an egg. But anyway, let's move on to some content.
Yeah, all right. Enough gas bagging off the top. All right, Jules. So I've got a bit of a theme. Just 2 examples. Point of view. So the old POVs. I think, just generally speaking, is winning content, and you're gonna have to take me off. Oh no, there you go. There's your screen.
Yeah.
So the first one is from Richmond, who have done a lot of good things. And this example, they've put a GoPro or some sort of camera on a drink bottle. And the point of view of players drinking, it sounds like really silly content, but I really enjoyed this. I think it's something refreshing, and it shows their players' personality. And it's so easy as well. Oh, yeah, you like that?
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, I like it. But it's funny because this is something you'd normally put like... You normally put it on I've seen put on a Fireball bottle, like at weddings, and they pass it around and they drink.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
So
but I think it's it's a good example. Yeah, it is clever. It's a good example that, like, this, could you imagine this being floated in, like, a team meeting? And people probably would think, oh, it's a bit silly idea, but to actually go out and do it, I think it's great.
Geez, I just had to take a drink of water watching that. It made me a bit thirsty.
So good, simple content. The second part
is good by Richmond.
Yeah, the Richmond are killing it. They actually had a ripper season like hype video that they put out, but we won't talk about that this week. But the second bit of this is athlete driven point of view. So this one is from Victor Wembanyama, of course. So he's this freak of a prospect for the NBA, and he is going to go number one, and he's basically this incredibly tall, athletic guy that's just gifted in talent. But anyway, he doesn't mind his TikTok, and he's put up this point of view during the week of basically how he sees the court. He's just holding his phone, but it does look like a GoPro, but he's basically dunking it, he's shooting it, he's playing with his trainer. He's showing off his ridiculous sort of length and what he does on the field. But I just think it's such an easy, really cool piece of content that went viral, or however you like to pronounce it. Viral. But no, I just think athlete sort of getting around this kind of content, it's so easy, like probably took him like 10 minutes. He's just really good for this space, I think.
No, that seems like it's fun. He is huge though. Fuck,
yes,
man.
He is incredible. He's like, they call him an alien. They call him the next sort of, I don't know, like this merge of just unfair talent. Like, anyway, but yeah, good on you, Victor, because I think fans love that, and it's pretty interesting.
No, I really like that as well. I think it's a good point. Like, that's really simple to like to see as well. Like simple from the athlete's perspective, and like it doesn't require a lot of planning on their behalf, and that I think is where you lose athletes sometimes, is like the complexity of things.
Yeah.
But if you just go up to them and be like, just hold this phone while you do this, just show us your point of view, then it works.
Yeah, it's fun for them. It's not hard. They don't have to rehearse lines, and it's probably something you could just throw to a player, like, oh, this could be not a bad idea, and just see if they run with it. But I just think as a general bit of content, point of views are great these days. I think you're going to see more and more, and it's already a big part of like individual content creators, of YouTubers or whatnot. But maybe in Clubland you'll see a lot more of it, because I think it's just easy and it's fun.
Yeah, I agree. Good find, Barks. 2 from 2 for today.
Thank you.
I'll jump into mine. I've got a couple. Have you seen this, Michael Barker? This is the Atlanta Falcons content production facility. So this isn't actually content, but this is their new like state of the art like production base in Georgia.
Whiz.
Like, look at this podcast. Jeez, that podcast setup's nice. What do you reckon?
We should show Carlton's.
Like, look at this.
That's unreal.
What do you think? Too much? Not enough? Over the top?
Definitely not too much, and definitely not over the top. I think if you've got it, hey, I'm all for giving the content team lots of moolah to spend, and I don't know, like I'd love to look at their like regular week to week content to how this actually looks. I'm sure it almost looks like a Sunrise TV brekkie show desk.
Yeah. I reckon this is probably more expensive than Channel 7 Studios, but like, to be honest, like, I think the point is that if you set up like this, you've got to demand a lot more from your content team, number one, but the output is always going to look like so much better. Like, this is ridiculous.
Do you think, especially probably not the podcast and definitely not this sort of green screen area or the backdrop, but that desk setup, do you think you can fall down the path of looking too well produced? Like, that might sound funny, but not like it's a bit too relate it back to home, like Fox Footy and analytic style.
It's an interesting thing. I would argue you don't see a lot of like low grade production content coming out of America. Like, I'm trying to think of an example off the top of my head of where they're just passing a phone around and it just doesn't seem like it's there. I think this is the market in America almost.
Yeah, but bloody, that's unreal. Just the setup, like that's probably a whole level of like a massive office building.
It's a whole studio. Like, it's called Ticketmaster Studio, so it's just like, it's fucked. Yeah, so if you're listening, Ness, Gav, this is what we're after next time. Oh, not you, Bucks. Maybe you can set up Hoop City like this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's well in their realm.
This one got sent to us a few times, and it's just a re-signing video from Burnley FC. It's fucking incredible. Like, it goes for a long time. I don't know if you've watched the whole thing, Bucks, but
yeah, I did. That was the first thing I sort of, when I clicked on it, I saw it went for like 1:40 or whatever, but it doesn't feel like it. And this is like a rare example of a long video that is still great.
Yeah, I think this is like, I think because it's such an iconic scene as well. Like, you know this, you watch this and you're like, I know where this is from. I remember watching this. Like, the way they've done it is just very, very clever. Like, I don't know. It's just smart. Like, it's worth the 1:30 or 1:40 that it is. Sometimes I watch these and I'm like, are we still going down this path of like quirky re-signing videos that like just take too long to get to the point? And then I watch something like this and I'm like, oh, actually, this is like...
You can still get it right, can't you?
Yeah, you can still get it very right. And this is one of those examples. I think it always should be on a like... and keen to hear your thoughts. Like, it should always be on a like ad hoc kind of like basis anyway. Like, does this require it, or do we just need to get it out?
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like you definitely shouldn't fall into the trap of thinking you need this for every player signing, especially if you're forcing it, because that's when it does get old and it won't get you won't get the result you're looking for. But sorry, listeners, this example, I don't think we even explained what it was.
Sorry,
we'll put a snippet in the audio version, but it's basically that famous scene from Shrek. Oh, I think it's Shrek 1 or Shrek 2, but where I forgot his name.
Lord Farquaad.
He's choosing the princess on that screen. Like, I think is that right, Jules? He's choosing the princess.
Yeah. So it's like done as a game show. And they're like, here's your 3 options for princesses, but Burnley have changed it to strikers, and they've changed it to like Leo, Messi, Ronaldo, or this. It's funny enough, I don't even know the last guy's name.
No, neither. But
it's like a no name in my mind, like compared to the other two. And yeah, it's just that scene from Shrek. It's a classic. I'm sorry I didn't describe it. We'll put the link up in our show notes, so just check it there if you haven't already seen it, but it should be there.
Yeah, and we retweeted during the week on our Twitter as well. So shameless plug. Check out Twitter.
Shameless plug to our Twitter.
But what do you think? Do you agree that it definitely shouldn't be something that teams should feel like they have to do for everyone, because it is a bit overused?
Yes. Yeah, I think like when I started, I thought in sport, I thought it was like a really quirky way to do stuff. And it is fun, but like if you're just sitting there stressing out over ideas every time, you end up losing the fun in it rather than like still enjoying it and still producing something good. Yeah, that's my kind of opinion on it. I think like if it lends itself to it, you do it. If not, like save your energy for something else.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Oh, cool. Good couple of examples. Sorry.
I've got another quick short one, and I just want to like talk about it quickly. It's not sport, but I was like many Australians yesterday. I was sitting and watching the Triple J Hottest 100 go out, and I'm just in awe of like the amount of work that goes into this day from Triple J. Like, I know it's their biggest day of the year. I get that, and it requires it. But the amount of content that's produced in the lead up, on the day itself, and post the day is sensational. Like, I don't even know like how to how you would go about planning all of this stuff. Like, it blows my mind to try and think about it. It's just great. Like, I think this is a real example of like, we think in sport that like the best stuff that we do is so good, but like when you actually put your mind to it and plan stuff out, look how much you can get done. Like, it's a great example in organization and like content planning.
I don't follow this. I don't follow Triple J Hottest 100 at all. Is this? Do you think it? Is it like too much? Like, or does it really help with people? Really following the countdown.
People follow it because you sit there and you listen to it throughout the day, right? And it's not like a game of footy or stuff like that where you can go multiple places and check in. But if you're just sitting there listening and you might zone in and out at times, because there's 100 songs that goes for like 7 hours of radio or something like that. You just come in at different points and you can check the lists and see where they're up to and see what you missed or whatever it might be. So I think it's good and it gets people excited. Like this, especially this top 10 countdown, like to see like songs roll out, or like you'll see like a lot of them will have comments on them that are like, oh, this should have been higher, this should have been lower. Yeah. It's all that kind of stuff. So people really get into it. And they pull out like random facts as well.
I feel so out of touch with
this one here with the amount of votes.
I know literally nothing.
I'm not surprised, Barks. They don't have Alter Bridge on there this year.
It's not really my music.
And they pulled out another stat that was like the amount of F-bombs in the lyrics was up by like 30% or something this year. Like they just find funny stuff to like keep you engaged along the way. It's very
that's good. That's good actually.
But yeah, that not sport related, but I think like a lesson in like how you can plan stuff out a little bit better.
Yeah, and it's also going back to like I think about game day of clubs when they get a big win. Like I really love when they literally put up like 10 to 15 posts. Like while you're hot. Like just put it up.
Yeah, no, it's true. So like ride the wave, bro.
Yeah.
Gnarly,
man. All right, let's get sick of the positivity. Let's get some eggs happening here.
Egg of the week. All right, Barks, what have you got?
Yeah, so I've got a funny one for an Uber Eats delivery. So 2 links. This Uber Eats man walks onto a live basketball court, interrupts the game, and makes the game stop. He literally just walks out into the court, trying to find whoever ordered Uber Eats. I'm not sure you can get a bigger egg than that, man.
Is the second link on it as well?
Different angle, Jules. I've got the angle from the videographer.
Oh, do you? Where is this? Okay.
Yeah, click on it. So this is from the team's videographer, and he just put up this post.
This one here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you can hear it with audio if you have it, Jules. We don't put it in the show, but he literally just you can hear the delivery driver saying, "Who ordered it? Macca's? Who ordered Uber Eats?" Or like it's DoorDash or whatever it might be. But I always wonder if it's a stunt.
It is. I'm going to mark this down now. This is going to be something in the lead up to the Super Bowl. 100%.
Oh yeah, I did think that, but it's still pretty funny.
It's Super Bowl season. That's what it's
clever though.
I can't. Yeah. No, it's clever. It's funny. I reckon keep an eye out for stuff like this coming up over the next couple of weeks. Like look at M&M's, the chocolate, like not the wrapper. They've changed their like Twitter completely to something. Yeah.
Wasn't even that funny. That's embarrassing. I laughed that much.
I was just making sure that you're not going on Marshall Mathers' Twitter. All right. My egg of the week. I've got 2. I'm going to egg myself, number 1. Long
time no self-egg.
We're trying to get the cats to go on leashes so we can take them into the backyard and not worry about them like running away, right? So we got Bernie onto one and he's all good. He's a bit like nervy on it, but I bought Max one the other day and put it on him. I took him outside and he freaked out heavily and just started jumping around and like flailing. It was kind of scary, and I had to like catch him midair and like run back inside.
What was he like?
Egging myself for putting him through that trauma, and also I've now got like some great scratches all over my arm and my finger is all cut up. So you live, you learn.
Dogs are dumb, are they?
Yeah, dogs are dumb. The other egg of the week, Barks, and I don't know if this is too close to home for you, but I'm egging you.
Okay. Hit me.
One of the most important shoots of the year.
Yeah. No, stop it, I'm leaving. It would have been if I'm still there. This is bad, actually, but go on.
We can't reveal the details of it just yet. But on a big shoot with a few players, and Barks, I got to give you credit. It was a big day, and you were doing a lot. But had to set up a GoPro to record in a car, and this was going to be a bit of content on the back of it, and the bozos put it in time lapse rather than regular mode, and then sheepishly calls me over to his desk on the day after. He's like, I've accidentally fucked up. I'm like, what have you done?
So
I'm thinking like you haven't recorded anything at all. That was my nightmare. But then you're like, just put it as time lapse instead.
It's still one of those things that you just hate to see. So I remember looking for the file because and again, we won't reveal what it is because it's confidential for now. But it was probably, I'd have to say, probably the most important GoPro bit, which made it even worse. And I was looking for the file on my hard drive because I copied a massive amount of footage onto my hard drive the day before, and I got the next morning just clicking over it to see that I got everything, and I couldn't find this one clip, the main important GoPro clip. And then I'm like, oh shit, like I reckon it hasn't recorded. So I went to the GoPro and I found it. I'm like, oh, thank God. And then I opened it. And it's just this really fast-paced time lapse. I'm like, for fuck's sake, like it's such it's hard. It's like you quickly swipe on the GoPro, listeners, and it goes to time lapse mode. But I'll cop that. It's fair.
Nah. And then we've both got to egg ourselves on this because I think we both did the same thing. And like I Googled, can you reverse a time lapse? Yeah.
Or like slow it down. And you can, in Premiere you can, but it's just this chopped up like 1970s style footage.
Lesson to all.
It does.
Just check your GoPros.
Yeah, slow down. It is a good lesson. Slow down, no matter how, because it was a fast-paced shoot, and I was sort of in the moment, and it's a lesson just to slow down and check that you've nailed the basics. But hey, Stuffy, I'm leaving, so good luck.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, good luck with that. Anyway, let's jump into some bosses, hey Barks.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get some positive energy up. I'll let you go. Hit us off. Yeah, good segue.
You're going. Oh, okay. Come on.
All right, I tweeted this during the week. The New Zealand Breakers, great Twitter and great social media presence in the NBL, but they've put up a membership push for fans to sign up to become members. And I just want to note the image selection that they've got their players fighting the opposition in the graphic they put up, and their hashtag is unbreakable, but in the picture they put hashtag unpredictable. And I just found it funny. I think it's funny to put a photo of you fighting the opposition to try to get players fans to sign up.
I
Awesome.
rate this. Yeah. Not a lot of engagement on it, though.
Yeah, they do. I reckon Breakers are probably the best in the NBL, but hey, any engagement is good engagement.
Yeah.
So quick one from
rate it.
Yeah. Next one is incredibly simple, but Harris Andrews from the Brisbane Lions AFL team getting over the tall poppy nature of Australia with athletes. So he's accepted yes to a collaboration post with the Brisbane Lions, and it's just a really slick training reel of him during the week, just putting the work for pre-season. Very good quality vision, but the boss is just for the athletes getting over as I said, the tall poppy nature of Australia and putting himself out there.
No, love it.
Need to see more of it. And as we can say in clubland, and I'm sure most clubs around Australia are the same, you have these thoughts with athletes and you'll send the invite their way and it will never get seen or accepted. So
some athletes are genuinely horrible at social media. Like, it's not hard. It's so easy. Like, you just see the request come through from your club. You think you'd follow it. Like, fuck me. Get over yourself.
But I reckon it would be more the tall poppy stuff. Like, they'd probably be afraid of how it would come across.
Get over it. You're an athlete. You love the status of it. I've got a small one. I don't know if this falls within eggs or boss. I couldn't find the vision, but I'll find it and I'll add it in here. So the Australian Open is on, and Stefan Tsitsipas from Greece is into the finals. And in one of his post-match interviews, he so he's like asking what he's going to be doing with the money he wins from the tournament, and he goes, "Oh, Victoria, it's the education state, so I'll build a school here." And I'm just like, we're not like it's.
Plenty of other places needed.
Yeah, probably start somewhere like a little bit more needy. But
He meant well.
I think he meant well. And in the other part of his interview, he shoots his shot at Margot Robbie.
Yeah, I saw that bit. I saw people referring to the school bit, but I didn't realize it was the same interview.
Yeah, it's just this rogue. I just don't understand, mate. Like, we don't need schools, but thank you for thinking we need a school.
No, I love it. I'm glad you put it in the boss section because it goes back to what I said the other week with the controversial call where post-game match interviews and halftime interviews are boring. Players like him and athletes like him make it not boring for us.
Say something different, yeah. Even if it doesn't make any sense.
No, good call. Good call. Speaking of calls,
let's get controversial.
Call. So, no, you can go this time. I've been going first for all of them.
I'll go first. All right, I'll go first. Suki content producers in our Instagram inbox. Fuck off.
Ooh. Go elaborate.
So I reshared the Just Designs work on the Richmond membership video
because he deserves a shout out. He does a lot.
Yeah.
Hang on.
I'm pretty sure.
Keep explaining. Justin. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Justin is the name.
Yeah, from Richmond. He's done this like great bit of animation, kind of what we've been talking about on the pod a little bit, like that 3D motion and coming through for season launch video for Richmond. And he's just made a little snippet of it and posted it. And I reshared it through the content catch-up saying, is this the first sign of more motion in Australian sports or AFL? And fucking peanuts from everyone. Oh, I've been doing motion for years. Well, you haven't been doing it well because I haven't fucking noticed. So piss off, you wankers.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I know the point of this is to fight, but I'm agreeing with you because I don't care if you've been doing it for years. We haven't noticed it, so you haven't been doing it that well.
Yeah.
That sounds really harsh.
Oh, what, you got a little bit of fucking lens flare going away? Piss off, you wankers.
Yeah. It's also not about, we're trying to highlight how good an example this bit of motion graphics was. So it's not about you, all right? Respond to it telling us how good it is.
Oh, I'm going to name and shame as well. It's Tom Vandervoos from fucking Melbourne United and Ben Lawson from Essendon. And both of you have had your time in the sun on our show where we've called out your work. And so just pass on the baton a little bit, boys. Get your heads out of your ass. But I love you both. I hope you know that I do appreciate you both. I think you're both great. But get your heads out of your ass.
Big fans of both, and I think they can both take it, so it's fine.
Yeah. What have you got, Barks?
Good call. I like that from you this week. Mine's not so much a call, but I tweeted this during the week that I wanted your thoughts on. You saw it, but so I don't know what I was doing, but I had just a bit of a moment where I came up with a good way to, I guess, put words to content creators, what they consume versus what they create. So my call is the more I consume, the less I create, and the more I create, the less I consume. Which sounds pretty obvious to me, but I just thought it was a very, I'll pat myself on the back here, Jules.
Yeah, it's very philosophical, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a simple way to put it, and it makes too much sense, I think, as content creators and people in this industry basically stop consuming because it will help your creativity.
Yeah. Look, I see what you're getting at here, because I feel personally like the more time I spend on TikTok in particular, like the more my mind just like fucking rots and I don't feel like I'm generating any more creative ideas. I think there's a balance though. Like there's got to be this fine line of, okay, I need to be on these platforms and consuming so I can generate my ideas off the back of that or get inspired. But I don't want to be in a point where I'm just replicating.
Yeah. And that's what I I think it's very much on the individual, how each individual's brain works. Because I can't say that I get I can't remember the last time I saw something and got inspired to do it without directly wanting to copy it. So like my moments come from not consuming stuff and doing something completely irrelevant, and then you're like, hey, that's a good idea, because then it becomes a bit too much of a copycat thing for me personally. But I know it's not the same for everyone.
I think it's a very it also goes back to like some of the stuff that you've said in particular, Barks, and in terms of like just taking a break from your phone and like staring at it. I'm using the phone because I'm thinking like that's where I do most of my consumption. And taking a break and actually getting out and seeing other stuff that's not so tied to what you do. And I think that can inspire you to be more creative as well, because you might pick up like, it sounds stupid, but you might pick up a pen and paper and actually like write out some ideas that you've had, or like you might go for a walk and like take a few pictures and be like, oh, these are cool. Like I want to do more of this.
Yeah.
There's so many benefits to like consuming less of what we do and just getting out and like seeing stuff.
Yeah, but it is hard. Like you're right. Like as content producers and people in this field, you do need to keep up with what's going on and what's going to work for your role in whatever you do for your job. So I think it's almost like I'd recommend, like, if you feel like you need to, like, it's almost like set aside 10 minutes to be like, all right, or 5 minutes, I'm going to have a quick scroll, see what's going on, but I can't do it too much because then it's just going to become hindrance on me.
Yeah. Mind numbing. Yeah. I've got to say, I've been trying to make a big effort to do that. Like I'll actually set myself and say, okay, it's like right now it's like 11:15. I'll allow myself 15 minutes of scrolling
3
on
hours.
TikTok. Yeah. And then 4 hours later, I'm like, yeah, that worked well, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I'm going to have 4 hours, but not a minute over.
Yeah, that 4 hours is my limit. Okay, 4 hours. Do you remember like when you were going through like high school and stuff, and you might be playing like Xbox or something to have a break from studying, and you'd be like, oh, I'll play for like until 2:30 or something like that, and you get to like 2:35 and you're like, oh well, it's actually closer to 3. I'll just play till 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
it's the same.
It's so true. Actually, those half-an-hour intervals just come across so quickly.
No, I like that, Bucks. I did give you a little shit, but I've always got to give you a little bit of shit just to make sure you know where you are in the pecking order.
I know when you give me shit, it's actually you complimenting me, so I wholeheartedly appreciate it.
I did like it. I've got one more quick one, controversial call. I've just recently purchased a water bottle, and I am I am fucking baffled at the fucking grip that the water bottle industry has on society at the moment. They are taking the absolute piss out of everyone.
What do you mean?
So the only reason I bought this water bottle is because I'd lost my other one, which I really loved, and I'd had it for years. And I saw this one at the supermarket for like 50% off. And I'm like, oh yeah, $15 for like a stainless steel 1.5 litre water bottle or something is great, right? Like that's a good deal. But like, fuck me, it shouldn't be $30 in the first place. It's just a fucking container for water. And you see everyone walking around with like Frank Green ones that are like double the size of their heads and like 5 litres of water.
Oh, yeah.
Like, are you well? Yeah. Like, how much water are you trying to consume in a day? Like, it's gone too far. Funny. It's madness.
It's fun. Yeah, it's funny you say that, because this became evident in our KK last year at Carlton. So we had the old where you can steal each other's present, and the water bottle, it might have been one of those Frank Green ones or whatever that brand is, where people just nearly came to blows trying to get the water bottle. And I even had this discussion with shout out Fran from work. She was driving me to a meeting last week, and she had one of those gigantic ones.
Oh my god, Fran's water bottle.
I was about to fight. Yeah, I was about to fight her about it, because I'm like, they won't fit in a bag. How is that handy? And I appreciate you valuing hydration, but bloody hell.
Friend of the show, Fran.
Good chat,
that water bottle. She's that water bottle is like genuinely bigger than her. Like it's ridiculous. Like I really admire her effort to bring that. I reckon that's what it is. Like if someone bugs her in a meeting, just like flings it at someone. Anyway, that's Carlton chat. We don't need to go down that path. We're trying not to do too much Carlton chat. So
Oh,
Let's
we've only
move
got
on.
2 more weeks at Carlton, chat.
Yeah, it's so true. Anyway, Bucks, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, I'm going to Queensland for a week, so maybe we can dial in halfway through or something for the preseason camp.
Yeah,
no,
just
we won't
to
do that, but
check up.
yeah, just see how I'm going. Bit of a finale for me, and then 1 more week left at Carlton. But anyway, just thought I'd touch on that. That's really exciting.
Yeah, make it about you again.
Oh, well.
All right.
Yeah, well, I'm half of this podcast, so that's about it, Jules. Anything else to wrap this bad boy up? Otherwise, thank you for listening, everyone. That's been episode, what are we on? 12, sorry.
12.
Of season 4. I reckon this season's flying.
Yeah, it's going well. I can't believe it's already Feb. When are we going to take our mid-season break? Probably soon.
It's usually around episode 20, isn't it?
Yeah. Still planning the live episode. Bucks and I got to work out logistics of that. But I reckon it'll be like a Thursday night, maybe, Bucks? The Thursday before you finish?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it in the final week. We'll find a way to spice it up somehow. I don't know whether we'll have people in the room. It could be anything.
Yeah, I'd like to have some people present. But, yeah, I don't know.
Live questions, maybe.
Yeah, live questions. I mean, if we get for the 4 people that are going to tune in, if you got live questions, that'd be nice.
Get Jake down from Geelong.
Jake, yeah, so true. Maybe he can shoot. Big fan of Jake.
Maybe. Yeah, I love him. Don't know anything about him.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again next week.
Goodbye. Have a great day.
Bye. You too. Bye.
Bye.